Hi guys, me Dimension Battles, and welcome back to my, well, not welcome back, welcome back to another video. But today this is my very first speed art video, so I'm going to be drawing 3 cards, and to start it off we are drawing Angry Treasure Chest. So at first I wanted to draw a tongue kind of a thing, but that didn't exactly work out, so I decided to not use a tongue and instead just trace it the way it is. I'm using a different eye style that I learned. I think it looks pretty nice, and then I'm just drawing in teeth because he is an angry treasure chest because I guess someone stole his treasure or something. It could be some kind of backstory like that, I don't know for sure. But I just finished drawing in the kelp, and then I'm tracing all the lines and stuff like that. So just gotta quickly erase all the stuff in the background, and now I'm gonna be coloring it in. When I was coloring it in, oh, I guess I did the kelp first. Well, it was just a generic green, you know, pretty easy. I made it kind of messy at the bottom, so it looks like it's blending in to the sand, and I feel like I might have chosen too dark of a brown, but I think it turned out okay because I went over it with a white marker to make it look lighter so you could see it easier. Then I erased it slightly so it looks old, and I think it made a pretty nice effect. So I'm just testing out which marker I want to use right now for the sand, and I found a nice peach kind of looking color, and I think it turned out pretty nicely. So for the ocean, I decided to use my dull blue, and I used this wavy line strategy, so it looks like an ocean, as you can see. I don't know if it worked that well, but I think it kind of worked, just the having texture to it like that, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So now I'm just coloring in the boxes and stuff like that with the rest of my blue because, well, you know, it just looks nice. And then I'm drawing my water logo. I actually forgot what it used to look like, so I had to quickly look at one of my cards as an example, but I figured it out luckily. And we're just finishing it up. I decided to name it Angry Treasure Chest. As you can tell, I made it a common card. And what did I choose for the effect? I completely forgot. Oh, when it's destroyed by battle. Oh, you could add 1 water type card from your deck to your hand. Common or rare water creature from your deck to your hand. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good effect because I wanted to make the effects more oriented on type base, so you can use, so the types actually mean something, like the water types, the light types, and the fire types actually have a meaning, and I think it did help to do that. I'm just quickly checking to double check that I am recording. Okay, good, I am. Oh, there we go. We're on to the next card now. So now we are drawing Cyber Enhanced Sword. So you guys wanted to see a Cyber Enhanced archetype, so that is exactly what I'm doing. This was suggested by, I forgot the fan's name, but thank you for the suggestion. I have a card made by him. I think it was the Lego Drift King. No, I think it was someone else. I don't remember for sure. I don't want to give credit to the wrong person. But anyways, so I decided to make a regular looking sword, but add all these Cyber Enhanced stuff to it. And I think it turned out pretty nice because I added wires around it and stuff like that, kind of similar to most of the Cyber Enhanced creatures. And I just decided to leave it like this, and then I just traced it and added in a few details. I always want to add green to it so that then it looks nice and more holographic and kind of futuristic in a sense. I used my thinner marker to make the lines in the center to make it look nicer. I kind of rushed the star there, and I regret doing it, but I don't think it looks that bad, not that noticeable. But in the end, I decided to color in the stripes with my new turquoise marker that I got while I was on vacation, and it looks really nice, and I used it for that instead of my green, that light green that I usually use. I thought it would mix it up so all the cards don't look so bland. Then I used my Artist Loft light gray for the blade of the sword, and the Copic marker dark gray for the handle of the sword, and I think it turned out pretty nice. And I'm using the light green, like the pale light green that I use for background color, to make it look, the sword pop out like it's glowing more, and it kind of smudged with the writing at the top, and I thought that was kind of disappointing, but it isn't that noticeable. And I colored the bottom with light green. Now that I think about it, I should have used gray because there's too much green, but I don't think it's that noticeable or that bad. So most of the Cyber Enhanced cards, you can only equip it to Cyber Enhanced creatures working with the archetype, and it's a pretty basic card, gain 100 power and shield, and it looks pretty nice. Okay, so we're just transitioning on to the next card now. I was originally going to make it a dragon kind of looking card. I always start out my cards with an idea, but then I always change my mind halfway through. So it was going to be like a dragon type of thing, and I thought it was going to look cool with weird looking legs. But then I decided that it would look better as a dinosaur because it was already starting to look like that. So I made the body a little bit longer and drew 2 legs in front, which I changed a lot. and then I decided to draw arm on the right side and the left side, so I bent the head more so it looks like it's looking backwards, which I thought was a pretty cool effect. So after that, I just start tracing everything with my pen, and I do redraw the legs like I said, and I decided to forget about that, and I add claws instead to make it look more 3D, so just claws on the leg. I'm grabbing my Copic bag right now and testing out all the markers. I was going to make it orange because most T-Rexes are orange, but I think green looks much nicer, and I think it really went with it also, so I just trace everything in green, and it looks really nice. I decided to draw a snout. I didn't know for sure if I wanted to draw a nose or not, but I think it added more character to the cartoony look and feel of it, which was pretty nice. So I just added a few black shading lines, and I wanted to make just a plain background, but I decided to make a little more interesting by adding a volcano in, which looked pretty cool. But I realized that I wanted the lava to drip, but I forgot to do that. So instead, after I put the brown there, I blended in the red a little bit with the brown, so it looks like it's coming out. And I was gonna add black highlighting, but I decided to delete it instead, which I guess is okay. It would have looked nice, but that's fine. Then after that, I found another kind of like a peach, but not exactly, and I used it to trace the background of this. There we go. Just trace the background. And I chose to use a bright blue because the card itself was pretty dark, so I think it worked with it, because if I had too dark of a background, then it wouldn't look that nice. And I made it an earth type, of course, which I thought was a pretty good idea. And when I make the logo for earth, I put light blue, and then I put a little bit of black in there to make it look all misty kind of in the mountains and make it an earth type. And I also bought a new Micron pen, which is the brand of pen that I use, and I decided to color in the stuff beforehand, before I started writing in the effects and stuff like that, so that doesn't smudge. But I think I forgot to do it. Yeah, I've been trying to do that more, but I forgot to do it for this card. So as you can see, some of the cards, the writing smudged just a little bit. That's why I like coloring it in first beforehand, but that's fine. So I decided to name it Angry Dino, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the speed art. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe. Bye guys.